Jessie B Scrapbooking back with another process video. This one is for the Scrap 5 challenge, and today's challenge is, here, let me bring it up. Okay, so we have to use a pin on our Pinterest as inspiration, a masculine layout, use ribbons or washi tape, and 3 or more different pattern papers and cardstock base. So here is the Pinterest I chose for my inspiration. It has a cardstock base. It has lots of different papers that could be washi and cardstock, or not cardstock, but pattern paper. And it's very masculine, and I just think it'll work great. This is the picture I'm going to be scrapbooking. This is my son and this is my nephew, and they were playing basketball in my house, and my house is very tiny. But they had fun playing basketball in this house. And this is the little hoop they have set up. And yeah, this is the bedroom doors that they were using as the backboard. And my son, who is 6'3", and my nephew, who is only 5'9", yeah, he's a good ball player, but he could not win against his big cousin. But it was fun to watch. And so I grabbed a couple pictures. I don't know how many pictures of my kids and nieces and nephews playing basketball in the house. But, and this is in the living room. So, yeah, let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to cut my picture down. I'm not exactly sure what I cut it down to, but I don't need all the, extra stuff in the background. And then I grabbed some scraps out of my scrap bin in blues and greens and browns. And I'm just figuring out what papers I want to use for my 3 pattern papers. So I'm going to use that blue one with the sparkle on it, this green one with the brown polka dots, or yeah, it's kind of a brownish green polka dots. This blue one here with the little starbursts, and then on the other side is a brown that I will actually use as well. So I got my pattern papers picked out, and so I'm just kind of laying them in the areas that I kind of want them to be. They don't all stay completely in these spots because I'm going to add my washi in as in between. So I'm mixing the washi and the paper strips. So yeah, I'm liking how that is looking. This green piece, I wanted it a little wider, and so I just cut it in half. Since it's going to be behind the picture, you'll never know. And now I'm going to come in with some washi. The first washi I come in with is this solid blue, really thin washi. And I do this really odd. So I get my paper lined up, and then I use that paper strip underneath as a guide to put my washi down. I don't know why I didn't just put the paper, glue it down first, but I didn't. So then I put this other green washi over top. It has some green leaves on it. And then I decide, oh yeah, I should glue these papers down. So I go back and I start gluing the papers down. And I'm going to start with this blue one here, and I'm ripping the edges so they kind of go from big on the bottom to smaller on the top is kind of what I was thinking. They don't all rip quite like they're supposed to, but it's ripped paper. So I decided I needed this blue one to be, this pattern paper to be a little longer. So I ripped it in half and pulled it out. And now I'm just coming back in with this green one, And I decided I didn't want to do the fishtail banners, and so that's why I'm doing the ripped edge. And I really like the way it looks though, but when it's done. I probably should have went a little longer with them, but I was kind of going off the size of that blue one I put on the very bottom as my guide for how long I wanted, but and it's only like 6 inches long, and I probably should have went 7, maybe even 7.5, but I fixed that because it bothers me at first, but I do fix that. So this is a really pretty flowery washi, but you're not going to see much of it, and it's in the right colors, so I used it. And then here is in this layout that I am scrap lifting, it has this bigger or wider, I should say, banner right in the middle, and so I'm just using this blue as my banner in the middle, like my wide spot. And that's why I'm starting to curve back out of the with the rips. So now you'll see that the tops are going to be longer and the bottoms will be a little shorter. And I tried to put a curve into that longer blue pattern paper. And I don't reuse all the washies. I think I actually only use that thin blue one twice. Everything else I've only used once. But I did repeat the pattern papers. So I don't know. I think it turned out pretty cool. I put that kind of metallic-y, oh, excuse me, that metallic-y copper one down. It's reflecting off the light right now, but it is just a metallic-y copper because I have that brown one at the bottom and I wanted something to kind of even it out. And then I decided to put the little starburst on this top paper over on the end, and I just ripped it a little bit because I want to embellishment cluster up there and I want that to be part of it. So in the inspiration piece, they don't have their photo matted, but yeah, I like to mat my photos. So I'm matting it just with some tissue paper, some blue tissue paper, and it's just going to be a thin little mat. I don't put the ATG onto the tissue paper because it will rip it, but if I put it onto the back of the picture and then push the tissue paper onto it, it works out well. And then I decided that that needs to be popped up a little bit, so I'm going to grab some really thin foam from the dollar store. It is not sticky on either side, so you have to stick it down both ways. And so I'm just going to put that underneath of it and then get it glued down right here on the washi and paper strips. Cut off my extra bits that were hanging off, and now I get to embellish. So I'm bringing in these stars. I think I got them at Walmart. Yeah, I think they're Walmart stars. And so I'm bringing them in, and then this is just a bigger star that I used on with my star punch, and it was just laying here on my desk. So I used that, and then I put 2 more of the other stars, and I know that there's 2 yellow stars on there, and there's no other really yellow in the layout, but I'll fix that later. And then I grabbed these 2, well, it's 1 oval sticker in the browns, and I just cut it in half and put it in 2 places, and I'm liking that. The top one will be a little cluster, and the bottom one will be where I put my date eventually. And then I just put goal and now little arrows, goal on the top and now on the bottom. And then I found these adorable little basketball stickers from, I think they also came from Walmart. And so I put 3 of them in each of the clusters. And then I'm going to use this Simple Stories alphabets. And I'm using an M out of a bigger set. And then the rest of the letters will be out of this little bit smaller set. So it kind of looks like it has a capital M. And I am just going to spell out my title, which is going to be Mayhem. Because when they start playing basketball in the house, that is what it is, mayhem. But controlled mayhem for the most part. So I don't know why it's not on here, but you'll notice that I moved the little stars, the blue star and the yellow star on the top. I must have cut that out, sorry. But yeah, I just moved them over a little bit so that the basketball didn't look like it was by itself. And then this is where I decided to bring in a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to do a wonky border in yellow and then mat it, the whole layout onto that dark blue, because all that white space, there was too much of it, and I didn't want to come in with mixed media because that was my first thought, and I didn't want to do that because I've already glued everything down. So I decided just to do this kind of a wonky border all the way around, and it is still just cardstock, so it still goes along with my scrap 5. So there we go. It's all done. I am going to add a couple little more dots as like splattery bits. So while I'm doing that, I want you to go down to the list below and see everybody else that is playing along with the Scrap 5. This is a fun group, and they make some really neat, amazing things with the Scrap 5 challenges. And yeah, so take a look at what everyone else is doing. And yeah, so here is my layout. It is just about done. And like I said, I do like how it turned out. It's really cute. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Bye.